friend, welcome back to my channel KBS Technocraft Python tutorial day 3 part 2. If you are interested in learning more about Python basic, I highly recommend checking out some of my previous video. If you like, please like, subscribe and share. Today we are going to learn about input output. In Python, you can read input from user using the input function and print output to the console using print function. Here's an example that demonstrates how to read input from the user and print output to console. Let's say consider I want to read a name from console entered by user and I want to display using a print method onto the console. So I will open Visual Studio Code and then I will try to put this code here. So if you are not aware about that, how to run the code in Visual Studio Code, please do watch day 1 tutorials where I have mentioned how to do the environment setup. Let's go and proceed. Now, the first line statement which I have written where I have mentioned input, what is your name? So this input function will allow to enter a value from the console and then whatever the value user has entered into the console, what I'm trying to do that I'm storing into a variable and then I'm trying to print it. So the first part is reading the value from console and second part is printing the output to the console. Let's run this code. Let's consider what is your name. Just say I will mention KBS tutorials or whatever it is. So see this, what we are doing it here, we are appending hello, name and welcome to Python. So here we mention hello, KBS tutorial. Okay, let's move to the next example where we are going to demonstrate how to read multiple input from user and print out to the console. So then the next example, what we are going to look on that, we are going to ask user to enter two numbers and then we will perform a sum operation on that particular uh, values and then we are printing the sum of those two values. So in this example we are having number one and number two need to be entered by the user and then we are performing the calculation and then we are printing it. Let's run this programs and we will pass the number one by one. So let's consider number 1 I pass 11, number 2 I pass 20 and then sum of the 11 and 20 is 31. So if you see here, whenever you want to allow a user to pass integer value, then you will be typecasting this with the integer. So this is how you are going to typecast it. So for example, int and then parenthesis and then you call input with the message whatever you want to display. Now, in the previous example, what we have seen that we were not doing typecasting because that is string. So, for example, if you want to read a string and you want to display, then in that case you might not require to typecast. But if you want to have boolean, float, integer, and you want to read it from console, since by default is read as a string, then you have to convert into the corresponding data type. Now we will see how to pass different data types from the console and how to use and uh, implement in our code. So I will try to create a sample where we will have a multiple different data types and we will try to read it and display it. So this example will help you to understand all available basic data types in Python and how to read it, how to display it. For example, in this example, I will first we are trying to get or read the age of the user or the value which are entered by the user on console. So this is integer, and then we are trying to ask to enter weight of that particular user on console, so that will be float. And then we are just asking that whether this particular user is a student or not, so that is boolean. And then finally we are asking that user to enter his name. So if you see, other than the string, so here if you see, this is the string and you cannot see any typecasting here. But if you see the integer, where we are trying to read integer value from the console, we are typecasting to int. Wherever we are trying to read the float value, we are typecasting to the float. Wherever we are trying to read boolean value, we are just typecasting here by making exactly equal to operator. So if we are, whatever the user enter, if exactly equal to yes, then it will return a true value. So there is no direct typecasting, but what we are doing it based on, since it's a conditional operator here, it will return true or false here. Okay, so let me clean the result and run it. So if I run it, this, okay, interior is, let's say consider age is 21 and weight is, let's say consider 40.8 kg. And then student, yes, and name, then joy, let's say consider. Now we will see whatever the values we have entered. So here is a displaying name is, this is the output. Okay, so if you see, name is joy, name is joy, age is 21, weight is 40.8, and student equal to false, true. For example, if I try to change this here not equal to, then you will be able to see that if I pass student equal to yes, then it will consider as a no. So let me run it here, and then age, let's say consider 44, is a 60.2, and then student, let's say consider, if I pass no, then it will say yes, and then I will pass same name J. So now if you see here, since even though I pass the no value for the student, it's a true, it's a showing true because I have changed the condition. So I hope you understand how to pass input and how to use and how to write in output on console window. And if you like my video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much.